The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And the tight end goes in motion left. A play fake. Now Penix. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Drake London, the intended receiver there, but it's going to be second down. You look at this Niner defense. They were excellent a week ago in that victory over the Colts.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's about what you consider the break-even mark. If you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course. A pretty nice effort.
Now a throw here, hauled in. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there, 18 yards. First down, Falcons. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43. The Falcons at 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first two games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that, and what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room. But they do have to start winning some games.
So the 14 yards actually takes him from 143 to the other for 1st and 10. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. Well, this defense for the Niners, much improved from week one. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
They'll go play action here with Penix. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Down to the 10, and into the end zone. A pick six for the 49er D as they score the touchdown. Well, they were advancing the ball. They had a couple first downs under their belt, but a big mistake there on the opening drive leads to 6 points the other direction.
And what a good read that was on his part, Brandon, because it prevents a possible scoring drive with how they were moving things along. And it gives the defense the early advantage. Was going to be a definitely entertaining battle between these units.
Moody good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So, I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always want a Thursday game earlier in the schedule rather than later, just because the grind of the season hasn't really set in yet. But also, if they can get a win here, they get a mini open week, recharge a little bit, and carry some fresh momentum into the rest of the season.
Here's 2nd and 10. Again, it's Robinson. And some strong running. Still going. And finally, they get him to the ground, but it's all the way down at the Niners' 34. 46 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. Great run there, but it looked like they were going to have him for the stop. He was able to push through. They didn't wrap up defensively.
No, they didn't. All credit to the runner for making it happen, breaking through some contact and going a long way. But the defensive guys, when they watch this on tape, they're not going to be real happy with themselves. They had a great opportunity that they let slip through their hands.
And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
Penix to throw on 2nd down. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. KJ Hamler, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. You look at this Niner defense. Against the pass, they're hoping to trend in the opposite direction because right now they're ranked number 26 in the NFL.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
Short throw caught by Pitts. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Koo knocks this one through the post. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Purdy going to lead the 49ers to the line. 1st and 10 at their own 21. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
They'll try and run for it. This is Juszczyk. And he's going to have a Niners first down as he gets it up past the 35.
3rd and inches, they just hand it to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around and hand it to the big fella and let him get forward for a first down.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. This time they'll throw it. Here's Purdy. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Matthew Judon in there to take him down. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. And it's a tremendous return as they finally get him at about the 10-yard line.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And looking to throw, Penix. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. Completion good for 14 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. On 3rd down, Robinson. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is now 10-7. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Purdy. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to nerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one, or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
On 1st and 10, it's Penix. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
With his height, that's exactly where you want to put it for him. But even that throw was a little tall to connect for the touchdown.
Right there, 54, right there, 54. 19 Lions. This thing is a loss. We take it with Mike 54. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning this.
On 2nd and 10, Penix once more. Now a battle for the football. It's caught. It's a touchdown. Kyle Pitts, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's Purdy on 1st and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
2nd and 10. Purdy looking to throw. And this, incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
And that could have been and probably should have been a third interception of this first half. He's got to figure out something because you cannot give the ball away like he's done and have any chance to win this game.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Once more, Purdy looking to throw. Got a man right side, it's McCaffrey. And he's not quite going to get to the marker. It'll be a gain of 8 on 3rd and 10. They'll run for it. McCaffrey. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. Christian McCaffrey unable to get to the marker. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Not able to go anywhere that time. 2nd down.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
On 2nd down, it's Penix. Into the hands of Perry, complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 13-yard line. That one good for 26 and a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Throwing on 1st down is Penix. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. Touchdown, Falcons! Bijan Robinson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Falcons are able to stretch out their lead. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And a drive that stalled out last time. Went for it on 4th. Didn't. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, turnabout is fair play, I guess. They had a pick-6 against them earlier, and now this defense, Charles, they get a pick-6 of their own.
And for a moment, let's just set aside how it impacts the scoreboard because how about the response? One defense gets the pick-6, the other comes back and matches it. These are two defenses that are planning on winning the game for their teams themselves.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Purdy. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. 23 yards the pickup there. On first down, it's Purdy. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Now a 2nd and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Purdy now to throw. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Fred Warner. The pressure that time right up the middle, and he was able to wiggle in there pretty easily and get the sack.
Yeah, sometimes you end up getting caught in a little bit of a breakdown about who to block up front, and that creates the gap there, and he took full advantage, got to the quarterback, and finished off the sack. And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Penix. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Robinson. And he gets this only to the 44-yard line. Not near enough to keep the drive alive. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back to return it, Christian McCaffrey. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Purdy's throw pulled in by Kittle. And right around the 20, he'll head out of bounds. downs. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. That right there, career catch number 541, and that's significant because it ties him with Hall of Famer Kellen Winslow, who also obviously played the tight end position.
Yeah, and helped revolutionize it when he was in San Diego. But how about what we're seeing right here? You're talking about 541 catches at the tight end position. You talk about lofty territory, rare air. He has a lot to be proud of in his career. Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing here, Purdy. Gets this to his running back. It's Christian McCaffrey. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. And now the Niners going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. On first down, Purdy. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And the Falcons are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the first half, and several different guys have picked him off.
Yeah, and instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouted, and they're taking it away at almost every turn. The
49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Ball at the 23, 2nd and 8. Purdy. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he'll take a shot from McCaffrey downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And it will be Falcon football. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Starting the drive with Algier. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Throwing on second down, Penix dumps this one off to Algier. On the move past the 40. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down. Looking to throw, Penix. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Two chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Now Penix. Flushed out right. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. From 6 yards away. And the Falcons have opened the lead up to 30. Koo able to connect on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. And following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense.
And now here is another interception. And the Falcons are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. They'll throw with Penix. And that is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. To the air, Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. This will wind up a loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Here's Christian McCaffrey to return it. 54 yards on the punt there, 15 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive.
It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A real letdown defensively. That was 3rd and a bundle, but they allow the conversion. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports.
Now Purdy.
And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that will bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Here's Purdy.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That's to his running back, complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll set up the screen to McCaffrey. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
Purdy going to give it to Guerrero.
And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
So a decent deficit at this stage in the 2nd half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay.
And across the goal line into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Kyle, you Juszczyk, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the 49ers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Moody good with the extra point, and the lead is down to 24. Here is Wishnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they look to finish strong in this fourth quarter, and this is a unit that certainly has turned things around from a week ago. Just a much more productive all-around ball game. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. They're going to look to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. That's brought in downfield by London. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one good for 26 and a first down. And London, the motion man right. Oh, here's a fake on the jet sweep and a give to Robinson. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. Just a 25-yard punt, not what he was hoping for by any stretch.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A good pickup there, a 22. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's McLaughlin. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on second down, it's Purdy.
He'll buy some time right. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Purdy will set up to throw it here.
Being chased out left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a second down and 12.
Back to throw, Purdy.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by Jesse Bates.
And the Falcons are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're in control here as they start 1st and 10 and appearing to have righted the ship following that 2-game losing streak. 59 yards rushing for him now to this point.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
From the 43, it's 2nd and 3. They'll give to Algier out of the gun. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover, after turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Falcons, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the 49ers, they will fall to a similar mark at 1-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.